Well, the things that I experienced with him were monster-like. That stuff almost destroyed my life.
Welcome back. A hearing is set for next Tuesday in the case for Sean Diddy Combs. This just days after jurors delivered a mixed verdict in his sex trafficking and racketeering trial.
Donald Trump is unraveling, and he's not even trying to hide it. This past week, his Truth Social feed turned into a digital circus of chaos and paranoia. There were deepfake videos of Barack Obama being dragged away in handcuffs, disturbing memes of Joe Biden strapped into a straitjacket, and one nightmarish animation where Hillary Clinton slowly morphs into a swamp monster. This isn't satire. It's not clever. It's raw desperation, broadcast in pixels. And with every unhinged post, one truth becomes painfully clear. Trump is spiraling. But the real question is, why now?
How many people came through his orbit? How many people could this have happened to? And how did he get away with it for so long?
The answer might be buried beneath years of glittering red carpets and smoke-filled backroom deals, where Donald Trump and Sean Diddy Combs allegedly played a game far darker than anyone imagined. With Diddy now awaiting sentencing, convicted for transporting paid companions across state lines for what prosecutors called multi-day pleasure retreats, Trump's name is starting to drift through those same murky waters. The whispers are growing louder. Some come from former event staff, others from insiders with deep ties to Palm Beach. They're saying Diddy's infamous freak-off parties weren't just hidden inside penthouses or Beverly Hills mansions. Some of them allegedly happened inside Mar-a-Lago itself.
They were referred to me as Wild King Nights. And what a Wild King Night was when him and a guest would go to a hotel room or be at his home, his bedroom, and they would have intimate gatherings. I would have to go and prep that hotel room, which consisted of baby oil, Astroglide.
Trump's outbursts suddenly start to make sense. This isn't just ego, it's a smokescreen, a media storm designed to drown out rising questions about how deeply he was tied to both Epstein and Diddy. And this isn't about old photos anymore, it's about timing. While his base fumes over the DOJ softening on the Epstein files, Trump's busy stirring chaos to bury the real story. He's even threatening to sue the Wall Street Journal over claims he sent Epstein a lewd drawing. It's like he's tossing lawsuits while the walls burn around him. Now, insiders, from event staff to Trump property managers, suggest Mar-a-Lago may have quietly hosted some of Diddy's most controversial parties. Allegedly, there was an arrangement. Trump gave protection and privacy. In return, he got praise, money, and as one source said, a seat at the shadow table. This wasn't just fame and favors. It was silence, traded like currency.
People don't really know how much what it does to you when something that you love is taken from you and thrown away like it don't even matter, and then they move on with their lives and you're stuck. You're stuck. During those years, you're still stuck 21 years later.
The sudden firing of prosecutor Maureen Comey, who led probes into both Diddy and Epstein, wasn't just suspicious, it was explosive. Comey herself called it a naked power move. Her words, "Fear is the tool of a tyrant." Removed without warning, she warned the law was being bent to protect the powerful. And the timing? Right before the Epstein files were set to drop. It doesn't smell like coincidence. It reeks of a cover-up. And then, the secret tapes. A former Mar-a-Lago staffer claims some areas were wired with private surveillance, separate from the main security system. What were they recording? According to whispers from legal circles and industry fixos, Trump may have had access to intimate footage from events that he and Diddy both attended. Footage some believe wasn't meant for safety, but for leverage.
I thought he was this clean businessman who rise to the top because he was such a powerful and, smart, educated man. I had no idea that he had this other side to him. And when I started to get exposed to his lifestyle, I started to really realize, this guy has an addiction. It's not just once every few weeks. It's every day, every hour.
Could this be the hidden card Trump's held all along? A silent threat, dangled to keep allies quiet and enemies in check? The idea that Trump may have shielded Diddy as federal pressure built seems less far-fetched when you connect the dots. His vague comments when asked about Diddy, his strange talk of pardons, saying no one asked, yet hinting someone might. Their public ties, the red carpet photos, luxury box appearances, none of it feels harmless anymore. Especially now. With Diddy convicted and those whispered freak-off weekends proven to be more than wild party rumors, they were built on control, cameras, and in some cases, documented abuse. Now, while Diddy sits locked up in Brooklyn awaiting his October sentencing, Trump is busy pushing deepfakes, AI courtroom sketches, and chaos online. This isn't just trolling, it's textbook deflection. But is this just noise, or is he building something darker?
Kind of extortion that we heard when Cassie took the stand and testified on that airplane ride back from France. Diddy said, "You don't do a freak-off, I'm going to release one of the freak-off videos that you are profiled in and humiliate."
We've seen this playbook before. Blackmail whispers, secret footage used as leverage. Diddy was infamous for recording his freak-off parties like episodes of a dark, personal reality show. If Trump was paying attention all those years, is he now copying the strategy? Only now, it's wrapped in code and powered by AI. One former campaign advisor, speaking off the record, claimed Trump's team recently began exploring generative AI. Not just for memes or graphics, but for something darker. Deepfake tools for risk analysis, they called it. Translation: fake media to silence, smear, or pressure anyone who might turn on him. Why rely on real footage when you can create your own and still spark fear? If that's true, if a former US president is using synthetic content to bury real scandal, then we've crossed into something terrifying. A world where truth doesn't hold power, but lies do.
Don't trust nobody. In Hollywood specifically, when you get there, a lot of people don't know how to say no. That's the difference between New York City and California.
Now, all eyes are on Diddy. Not for his music, not for his empire, but for what he might trade to stay out of prison. Inside Brooklyn's MDC, the bad boy mogul is playing a whole new game. He's enrolled in self-help classes, therapy, even domestic violence programs. Officially, it's a path to accountability. Unofficially, legal insiders are calling it what it is, a calculated bid for sympathy ahead of his October sentencing. One former prosecutor didn't mince words. This is gamesmanship, lawyering 0101. Diddy isn't just hoping for leniency, he's crafting a redemption arc. But the real twist? Whispers say he may be ready to flip. Multiple defense attorneys speaking off record claim the feds are dangling a deal, but only if Diddy gives them something massive. And there's one name that could rock DC to its core and rattle the Trump campaign to its foundation: Donald J. Trump.
Interestingly, we haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence.
The cracks are already showing. Diddy's legal troubles stretch far beyond a single courtroom. Over 60 lawsuits are piling up, and multiple insiders are reportedly preparing to testify in both civil and criminal cases. The dam is under pressure. And if Diddy starts talking, especially about what really happened inside Mar-a-Lago, or during those now infamous freak-off weekends, the fallout could be historic. Two former investigators familiar with the case say speculation is growing. Tapes, guest lists, digital records, they might still exist. And Diddy, he may know exactly where they are.
Are you surprised by the evidence that's already coming out in the criminal trial?
No, I'm not surprised. I experienced some of those things. Witness violence.
If Diddy flips, Trump won't just face headlines, he'll face betrayal that could shatter the myth he built over decades. This isn't about image anymore. It's about survival. And if Diddy thinks the truth can shave years off his sentence, Trump's web could collapse like a house of cards. The MAGA base is already cracking. Once loyal forums now buzz with doubt. Screenshots of Trump and Diddy at benefits, courtside, even alongside Melania and Kim Porter at galas. The photos once dismissed now feel like evidence. One post asked, how deep was he in with the freak-off crowd? Another warned, if Trump knew and stayed silent, he is the swamp. The Epstein files only deepen the wound. Then came Maureen Comey's firing, daughter of James Comey, and lead on Diddy and Epstein probes. Even Elon Musk chimed in with a now-deleted post. Trump is in the Epstein files. And from Trump's camp, nothing. Just silence, memes, and threats.
Partners. Incredibly, that's how Sean Diddy Combs' own lawyers describe the billionaire music mogul, currently facing serious trafficking charges in a New York court.
Some insiders believe Diddy may already be in talks. An entertainment lawyer tied to the lawsuits claims Diddy's team recently asked about protective immunity, the kind offered to witnesses in high-level federal cases. And lawyers don't ask those questions unless they're considering a deal. This isn't rumor, the source said. It's procedure. So where does that leave Trump? Stuck between a crumbling celebrity alliance and a base that's starting to see through the myth. The man who once branded himself the outsider, the rebel, the swamp drainer, now looks like he's been swimming in it all along. Worse, he's shoulder to shoulder with a convicted mogul. One whose court records read more like the script of a dystopian nightmare than a rap sheet.
Diddy? What? You know, that was a person that I looked up to. He was a mogul, and I listened to all the artists that he made superstars. And so to have a chance to be able to be signed to him, it was amazing. It was like, oh my God, I'm here.
And we haven't even touched what's still buried in Diddy's vault. Tapes, photos, whispers of substances, staged parties, and powerful guests caught in compromising moments. If even a fraction of it is real, no AI meme will save Trump. No cartoon can outrun a subpoena. Behind the memes and filings, something heavier is settling in, a psychological weight pressing on both men. Trump, once the master of controlled chaos, now looks brittle. His posts feel less bold and more desperate, erratic bursts from a man watching the walls close in. Insiders say paranoia is creeping in. He's snapping at staffers, obsessing over optics, and spinning harder than ever. The confidence is cracking. What's left? A man battling shadows he created, clawing to hold on to a version of reality that fewer and fewer people still believe.
Coming forward, they've been afraid of what he could potentially do to them within the industry, what he could do to them professionally, maybe even personally. And so yes, it's been a dark secret they've held on to for a very, very long time.
Diddy, meanwhile, is unraveling in silence. No more bold claims of innocence, no more Instagram flexes. Just a man alone in a federal lockup, stripped of fame, entourage, and control. His therapy sessions and workshops might look good on paper, but insiders say it's fear, not remorse, driving the change. He's anxious, haunted by what evidence might still exist, who might flip next, and which trusted allies are already cooperating behind his back. For both men, the cost of living in secrecy is catching up. Trump thrived on rally theatrics and power moves. Diddy ruled through fear, mystique, and mythic parties. But now, the fantasy is cracking. And when that happens, it's not just reputations that collapse, it's identity. Trump built his brand on never breaking, Diddy on being untouchable. But now, the illusion is bleeding out, fast.
Threatened her, one point allegedly threatened to take her phone and use anything on the phone against her.
Psychologists say public meltdowns hit a tipping point when the gap between image and reality grows too wide to hide. That's where Trump and Diddy are now. Two men who built empires on control, watching it vanish in real time. The mental strain of keeping stories straight, silencing dissent, burying truth, it doesn't just wear down the body, it distorts the mind. Every day brings new risks, new revelations, and fresh reasons to panic. What we're witnessing isn't just a scandal. It's the psychological collapse of two carefully crafted myths. And the harder they try to hold it all together, the more the cracks show. As the legal clock ticks louder, fear may become their most dangerous weapon, because when powerful men panic, not just legally, but emotionally, they rarely go quietly. They grasp, they lash out, they drag others down with them. And the closer we get to the truth, the more likely it is that one of them finally breaks. Here's the real bombshell. What if Diddy flips and it works? What if, to save himself, he burns Trump in the process? What happens to the MAGA movement then? What if Trump stops being the persecuted outsider and is exposed as an enabler of the very system he swore to destroy? We're watching a scandal unfold that could make Watergate look tame. If the whispers are true, if Diddy really has the goods and the will to talk, this could be the fall of a political persona built on denial and defiance. Could this be the moment the Trump myth finally cracks? Not by a rival, but by an old friend with everything to lose and nothing left to protect. Let us know what you think in the comments. If Diddy talks, does Trump walk? Or do they go down together? Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and never look away when the powerful start to fall.